Hello, my name is Brother Sean, and for those who do not know me, I am a member of the Teo community of Interspiritual Franciscans, a community that was set up by divine intervention from God the Supreme to St. Francis in April 2008, to try and emulate his teachings and his example more than his dogma, to embrace all faiths. And it is important that today, where so many wounded soldiers have been wounded by dogma and fear and religious guilt, and I share that from my heart because most of my life, both as a working nursing monk and latterly as a therapist, as a teacher and counsellor in pastoral care, I've come across so many beautiful souls who've been so deeply wounded by religion. I am not knocking religion, but what I am saying, the God I know and love, who set me free from religion and dogma, and allowed me step out of my comfort zone, which was being an active Catholic Christian for many years, but I always did so with a heavy heart, because I was full of guilt. Now I'm free. I am free to embrace a loving God, without that guilt and baggage, that if I don't abide by certain things promoted by the Church, I'll go to hell. They are not God's teachings, they're man's teachings, however high-ranking they've come, or from whom they've come. So this short video is really a challenge. Where have they gone? What is that saying? Where have they gone? Well, let me use as an example the 10 lepers who were healed by Jesus, the barefoot Galilean. And after they were healed, clearly they got on with their life, which is good, but only one came back to thank Jesus. Isn't that tragic? Where were the other 9? I guess they represent a lot of people today in society, as many people who contact me by phone, knocking on the door, by email, with their persistent requests to pray for them. And when their prayers are answered, they do a disappearing act. And I guess that's life, and that's the fickleness of human nature. Many people have been touched by God in a profound way, and after a while they become complacent in their journey, and they move on, forgetting that they were touched by God. And isn't it sad? No, it's discouraging, and it's an awful indictment on us human beings. So how do we remedy this? Is there a remedy? Is there a solution to try and rally the troops, as they say, to come back with an open heart and embrace a loving God who's waiting in the wings for them to use his gift to them, the gift of free will? And many are invited. In fact, all of God's children from all faiths and none are invited to Agape, to come and sit at the table of blessings. And I know from practical experience, when we were guided to set up our live stream channels for morning and evening prayer, for our peace vigil for Gaia Mother Earth every night at 9 o'clock, which will be 8 o'clock in the evening from the 1st of August. and then our twilight, a soul reflection with a thought for the day at 12 midnight, London time. And I know that I've contacted all of our database, many thousands in fact, and maybe for morning and evening prayer we'll get about half a dozen. On a good day we will have 9, and that is amazing. But the sad truth is not many people today are bothered. They're not really bothered, and I guess that's because they're overwhelmed with their own issues, with grief, living in a world that's chaotic, and living in a global recession has lots of issues that face ordinary men and women today. But I often think, how does God view us as a human race? He must despair of us because we've become so ungracious, so disrespectful, and so inhuman to one another. Look at what's happening in Syria, where 2 factions of the Islam faith, Shiite and Sunni Muslims, brothers and sisters, are killing one another for what? And you only have to look around the world and you see man's inhumanity to man at such a scale. And you look back on history and you see the atrocities committed in the name of evil. And the underlying factor clearly is greed, control, power. You only have to look at what's happening in religion today. There's unrest within the Buddhist fraternity. Human beings become envious that others of less importance are getting senior promotion. And it's the same in the Catholic Christian Church. It's no different. We are a foolish nation, though we are a people set apart to give praise to God. So where are they today? I guess they're getting on with their life. And probably God, their Father, Mother God, who's provided for their every need, probably just gets lip service. And that I find so disheartening. But we are undeterred, because when we meet every morning at 9 o'clock, and every evening at 5 o'clock, and our vigil for peace at 9 in the evening, and our twilight reflection for the day at midnight for 30 minutes, we do it not to be recognized and applauded and given an MBE or an OBE. No, we do it out of love, not out of civility. We do it because we are so grateful to a loving God who has given us so much. Are you willing today to be challenged and ask yourself, are you one of those who've disappeared into the sunset and forgotten about a loving God who's provided for you? Are you willing to face those wrongdoings and become one again? I bless you.